the third passage of this paper. It talks about well, it talks about two or three points, main points, and most of them talk about the concept of work in the modern world, and especially with relation to the modern economy. Now, first paragraph of this passage talks about how if we lend money to the government, we are in fact like the Shakespearean characters who used to hire murderers. So that is like a case build up. Then the second one says that if an enterprise fails, then also the person who has invested would be um, or would receive sympathy from his fellow men or fellow countrymen. But if somebody spends all that money on personal enjoyment, that person will be called a fool. So the author is quite direct, and the most important idea of this paragraph starts with the this passage starts with the third paragraph. It says, all this is only preliminary. I want to say in all seriousness that a great deal of harm is being done in the modern world by belief in the virtuousness of work, and that the road to happiness and prosperity lies in an organized diminution of work. Now the last paragraph gives an example of that, and how the World War or the wars they have affected our definition of the word work, and how in modern world people keep on working for longer hours. So the author gives you example of the third paragraph. Now question number 75, why does the author use the phrase victim of undeserved misfortune? Now this is mentioned in the second paragraph. Now let's find out that word. Nevertheless, when he becomes poor through failure of his investment, he will be regarded as a victim of undeserved misfortune. So this would be like an example of sympathy that he would receive. So option B is the correct one, because it says to convey a sense of absolution. Absolution means free from responsibility and guilt. Now this one goes with that line. Now A, to highlight the misery. Now misery is something that can also affect the philanthropist or somebody who spends all his money in giving parties to his friends. So A is wrong. To imply a sense of victimization at the hands of the people. Now people here is wrong. The correct word would have been at the hands of the state or the nation. So C is out. And the word glorify makes option D incorrect because the passage doesn't talk about that. So the correct answer to question number 75 is B.